Hello everyone and welcome to Shara Me with Books. My name is Edshara and today I'm sharing my reading goals for 2019. So I wasn't originally going to do a 2019 goals video just because I didn't get to do a recap or a look back on how I did on my goals from last year, but then I kept thinking of all these new things that I wanted to try to do this year, so I figured making a video would hold me accountable and hopefully I can do better this year with my end of the year videos than I did last year. So I have 5 goals for the year. The first one is to read my own books. I have, like most people, a very large unread TBR, and my goal is to get that number down. I'm not exactly sure what the exact number is. Now that I think about it, I probably should have counted, but the goal is to read my unread books. I'm still going to be going to the library, but rather than getting 5 or 6 books from the library and then only reading 1 or 2 of my own, I'm going to try to flip-flop those numbers and read more of my own and get less from the library. We'll see how that goes, because I've already made my January TBR, and the whole time I'm picking books I'm like, gosh, this TBR isn't exciting, even though it's made up of books that I said I wanted to read, which is why I bought them. So we'll see how I do with this goal. My second goal is a carryover from last year, and that is to read before I buy. I felt like I did really good on buying books last year. Most of the books that I purchased were books that I had already read. There were some exceptions, which I know will probably happen again this year, but for the most part, the books that I purchased were books that I really enjoyed and wanted to add to my collection. So I'm hoping to keep that up this year. My third goal is to be consistent. I think I did really well at the beginning of the year last year, but then around the middle of the year and towards the end of the year, I slacked off a lot. And I was a little disappointed in myself because I let outside things kind of change my mood, and it kept me from interacting with this community. So I wasn't watching BookTube videos, I wasn't reading, I wasn't going on Goodreads. I would barely go on Instagram and Twitter, and I obviously wasn't making videos of my own. And that really bummed me out because this is such an enjoyable community and I obviously really love reading. So the goal is to not let all of those outside things keep me away from something that I love to do. I'm sure there will still be times when I take a little bit of a break, but I don't want to go a month to a month and a half without uploading a video again. So that is my goal, be consistent. My fourth goal is to read at least 1 Christian fiction novel a month. Christian fiction is a genre that I really enjoy, and I found several booktubers who read and review Christian fiction specifically, so I've gotten a lot of recommendations for books that I would like to try. I also have purchased quite a few Christian fiction books since I started my BookTube channel, so I need to be reading those, and I would like to discover some more diverse Christian fiction authors, and I can't do that if I'm not reading the genre. So that's a goal for this year, is to read at least 1 book a month, if not more, from the Christian fiction genre. And my 5th and final goal for the year is to start some new things here on the channel, as well as change some things up. One thing that I know for sure I'm going to be starting here on my channel is a book versus movie review series that I'm really excited about. I've already chosen a couple of books that I want to read or reread and then watch the movie adaptation and then compare and contrast the two and decide which one I prefer. I'm not really sure what it's going to look like yet, but I'm hoping that I can be a little bit creative. And I also know it's not something that's new to BookTube, but I'm super stoked for it. I would like to try vlogging because I do enjoy watching other people's vlogs, but it's also not something that I'm 100% sure about, just because I know it's not something that I'm really that comfortable with. But I am all about trying to push myself out of my comfort zone, so maybe you'll see a vlog here on my channel this year. And one thing that I know I'm going to be changing is how I do my wrap-ups. At the beginning of 2018, I really did not like wrap-ups. I didn't think I was very good at, expressing my thoughts and feelings about a particular book with you guys, but I think I've gotten a little bit better. And so I just am going to be doing one wrap-up for the month. I think doing a mid-month wrap-up and an end-of-the-month wrap-up was a little much because I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to get a certain amount of books read to do a mid-month wrap-up, and then trying to finish all of the books that I mentioned in my library haul by the end of the month to include them in the end-of-the-month wrap-up. So this year I'm going to go back to doing just one a month, and instead of talking in detail about all of the books that I read, maybe talk a little in depth about one or two books that I really enjoyed for the month, and if there's a book that I really didn't like, share my thoughts about that book with you guys. And then all the other books that I read, just maybe give you one or two words about them and my star rating. Again, I'm not really sure what it's going to look like, but that is something that I do want to change here on my channel. But that's all of the goals that I have for this year. Hopefully I can stick to them. I think I did decent last year, but not as well as I could have. So let me know in the comments down below if you have any reading goals for this year, and which ones you think you're most likely to stick to, and which ones you think you may not stick to. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, God bless. Bye. And review Christian fiction. They read Christian fiction, y'all.